My name's Anthony. I got a question. Before social media took off, like 4 or 5 years ago, I was really big in like collecting emails. Like at shows, I would like send people to my website. If they wanted to download a free MP3, they'd have to type in their email. And I spend like an absurd time a month putting together like a newsletter. And I'm wondering now, like Twitter and MySpace, like you post something out and you hope it sticks. Like you hope someone responds or clicks through to link through. Whereas before, I was always like trying to get that myself and send it to them directly. I'm just wondering, am I wasting my time now with email campaigns? Are people really clicking through, or should I just give them the option in Twitter or a MySpace bulletin and let it fly?
Yes and yes and yes.
Paul, you might actually be really in a good spot because the thing is that you just need to partner with somebody who can give you detailed metrics or statistics as to who's actually reading what you got.
So there's two sides of that. Different demographics are interacting differently with email. Depending on your target audience, SMS and text messaging might be the way to go. And I know somebody in here is sitting here from Moses, and Moses is a great texting platform, a way to have direct consumer engagement with the people that want that information from you. The tough thing about collecting email addresses at a show is that the people might be doing it for a number of reasons. Your merch girl might be hot, right?
Sure.
But putting things in their hands that they actually want is a difficult thing. Collecting consumer data from people that are coming to you is much different. So my recommendation is utilize Twitter, utilize these other places and these other social destinations where you're able to actually turn them into a fan and somebody that wants more information from you, and then utilize the metrics and the different tools to then collect their information and get them to engage with you, whether it's a Twitter competition or a Twitter contest,
Sure.
where they actually give over their information to you, where then you can directly engage them, with a longer message other than 140 characters.
And I think Paul's right. I mean, understanding and analyzing your metrics is really important so you know where to invest your money and where not to. There's a really good mailing list program that I've been using for about a couple of years now called MailChimp.com. And it's actually free to start using up to like your first 100 emails. And what's really cool is you can see all the metrics, who's opening your emails, who's not opening it. And then they can also, at the end as soon as you blast off an email, you have the options right there with the click of a button to like put that on Twitter, put it on Facebook, MySpace, all of that for you. So it's all built in.
I just got kicked off Constant Contact. Apparently they're not doing anything for musicians anymore. They have a cap on the amount of promo that you're allowed to do within a certain email.
So there's actually, and I know we spoke about this before, but Reverb Nation, their program called FanReach, has been fantastic. At the risk of plugging another company, but Eventful also through the demand component. When an artist puts demand out there for their fans and a fan demands you then have the ability to communicate directly with them on a geo-targeted level.
Okay.
So there are different organizations and they do it differently. FanReach is great for Reverb Nation. Demand, when you communicate with their fans, it has a 40 to 80% open rate and 97% click to open, which means of the 40 to 80 opening that email, 97% are engaging with it. So there are definitely tools out there to collect the data for you and then allow you to target those people directly.
Just make sure when you ultimately do land on one of these that you actually utilize the metrics or the statistics that you see, because it's one thing, it's like, oh my God, I sent this out to 1,000 people and 50 read it. What happened? Or if you've written the Great American Novel in one particular update and people don't necessarily open it for whatever reasons. I don't know if you can see how far people go along or at what point they close out if it's a hosted actual thing as opposed to an email. But you can really sort of focus your approach based on the metrics that you get back from any of these services.
I think the guy to my left, though, over at Epitaph would probably give you give a pretty good perspective on it too, though, because I'm sure you're working with a ton of bands and utilizing all different methods to get the word out. So
we've given up on email. Don't do it. You're wasting your time.
I've heard that.
So that's how I feel.
Email is dead. Email is dead.
So much time.
Well,
It's
we've,
so much time.
We've had to invest so much money in basically making sure our lists are not blacklisted. We have a list of over 500,000 people, but what does that mean? If they're not going to be able to open the email, what you really should focus on, if I were you, is gathering phone numbers. That's the future. That's what it is. We've completely scrapped any email marketing. We still blast our list. We still have our newsletter, but we've scrapped any gathering of email addresses. We only do phone numbers.
Yeah, there's two ways you can bypass a couple of stuff. If you use some services like Constant Contact or vertical marketing, there's a bunch of different email things they're whitelisted with all the ISPs, so they don't get blacklisted, they don't get spam, labeled as spam or whatever, put in the spam folder. and then the metrics that go along with all of those. As far as text messaging, getting people's phone numbers, there's plugins on WordPress. You can actually have on your website a little place where they type in their phone number, and you gather all those up. And then when you want to blast out a text message this is like for free as a service, you just go into the admin panel in your website and say, send this message to all of my subscribers. There's also textblaster.com, txtblaster.com. You can set
But
up.
collecting phone numbers comes in.
Yeah, you can actually, like right now, if you text, I think it's Downtown Rob to Blast, it'll shoot back automatically my contact info to you or whatever, and then I also get all of those people on a web interface list that I can blast out to via text message as well. So.
But the other thing is, if you don't want to sign up for yet another username and password on another site, if you just have your blog, you can actually use that, and it's free. Like if say you signed up for WordPress or Tumblr and you're a band or a DJ or an artist, you have one destination site, it's your domain name, you're blogging, you can sign up